Hey everyone, it's Miss M. Today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. So a quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides. The diagram shows properties of different types of quadrilaterals and how they are related. When identifying a quadrilateral, use the name that is most specific. So you don't necessarily have to write this diagram down in your notes because you are going to be making a graphic organizer in class, but it's up to you. So we see at the top just normal quadrilateral polygon with four sides. This breaks into three more groups. So let's start with trapezoid first. Trapezoids are quadrilaterals with exactly one pair of parallel sides. So we can see here by the little arrows that these are parallel. Next, we have parallelogram, which is a quadrilateral with opposite sides that are parallel and congruent. So we see the little triangles tell us that these are parallel. The triangles here tells us these are parallel. And those corresponding sides are also congruent, which means they're the same. So same here, and then same here. And then a kite. So a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides and opposite sides that are not congruent. So we see here 1, 2 adjacent sides that are congruent or equal, and then 1, 2 adjacent sides that are congruent. And we see the opposite are not congruent, not. Okay? So if all four sides are congruent, it is not a kite. Two sides the same, two sides the same. Then go back to parallelogram, broken up into two more sections. Let's start with rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram with four right angles. So you see little squares and all sides tell us they're all right angles. And of course here, congruent, parallel, congruent, parallel. And also rhombus. So a rhombus is a parallelogram with four congruent sides. So all the sides are the same. And we see parallel sides, parallel sides. And then last we have a square, which is a parallelogram with four congruent sides and four right angles. So you see the little squares, the red square telling us that it's a right angle, 90 degrees, and all four sides are the same. So let's take a look at some examples now. First, let's classify the quadrilaterals. So in this first example, we see all four sides are the same and all of the angles are congruent. So we know this is a square. Okay. And in the next example, we have these two sides are the same. We can tell by the two little red marks, two sides that are adjacent and two sides that are adjacent. One red mark tells us these are the same and the opposite sides are not the same. So that means that this is a kite. And the next example, all these sides are the same and we have parallel sides, parallel sides. This is a rhombus. Okay. The next example, parallel, congruent, trapezoid. And last, we can see these two sides are the same, these two sides are the same, and all four angles are 90 degrees, so this is a rectangle. Okay, so quadrilaterals have four angles. When we add the four angles together, we will always get 360 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, add them together equals 360. So let's look at an example. Find the value of x. We would say x plus 100 plus 80 plus 100 equals 360. Combine your like terms first. 100 plus 80 plus 100 is 280. Isolate to get x by itself. Subtract 280 on both sides. We get x equals 80. So last example here, we can say 81 plus x plus 124 plus 90 equals 360 degrees. Combine your like terms first. 81 plus 124 plus 90 is 295. Isolate, subtract 295 on both sides. X equals 65, so that missing x value is 65 degrees. And that concludes our notes for today. You don't have to copy down all of the diagram, but you do have to copy down all of the examples we just did.